What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Ford F-150 XLT with the black appearance package. Huge thank you to Greg Williams over here at Koons Sterling Ford for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you're interested in this particular F-150 or any Ford product, then I'll be sure to have Greg's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It's a beautiful yet occasionally breezy day today, so I apologize in advance if there's any wind noise in today's video. But just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Ford F-150 XLT. And this particular one has been painted in carbonized gray metallic. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2024, Ford updated the exterior styling, engine options, and trim lineup, as well as made some more features standard. But this one being the XLT, as standard, you get LED reflector headlights with automatic high beams, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights with cornering. But taking a step to the left, you may notice that this one looks pretty sharp and sporty, and that is because it has been optioned with the $595 black appearance package, which gives you the mix of satin black and gloss black for your front grille, as well as your black Ford logo with the white outline and the white Ford script. Also included in that package is the body color front bumper. But back up to our logo, just beneath the logo, you may notice that you get a forward-facing camera, and that is because the XLT for 2024 now comes standard with a 360-degree view camera system, which makes parking in tight situations a breeze. But also, this being an XLT, you have three different XLT trim options within the XLT trim level. There is the XLT base, the XLT mid, and the XLT high. This one's been optioned with the $4,770 XLT mid, also known as the 302A. And with that package, you get 4 forward-facing sensors. But coming on down just a little bit more, you get a satin black valance, which is what this piece is right here. But you do get some gloss black accenting beneath that with the black appearance package. And when you spec this with 4-wheel drive, you get 2 tow hooks down here. But I also wanted to say that with the XLT, you get 8.8 inches of ground clearance. But this one has also been optioned with the $1,095 FX4 off-road package, which gives you skid plates that protect your fuel tank, transfer case, and front differential. But to summarize the 2024 refresh, at least up here at the front end, it retains a feel of similarity to the 2023 or 2021 to 2023 F-150, but it looks more refined. And when I first saw it, this is one of the first F-150s that I first saw pictures of, and I actually really digged. So, or really dug, I guess you would say. I feel like Ford has been knocking it out of the park recently with their designs. Again, that's just my personal opinion. You can let me know your opinion in the comments down below. But again, this one being spec'd with the FX4 off-road package. Up here at the front end, you get the off-road tuned front shocks. And then again, this one also being optioned with the black appearance package. You get these 18-inch gloss black wheels, and the wheels are wrapped in 275/65 Goodyear Wrangler Territory all-terrain tires. I'm going to try to give you a better view of the wheel face there. They do have a couple other wheel options to choose from. However, depending on which wheel option you choose, that does include a package that you have to spec in order to get that said wheel option. So one thing also that is new for 2024 is there's now 2 black appearance packages. One of them is the black appearance package that this one has. The other one is the black appearance package plus, which would basically give you 20-inch black wheels and a dual exhaust in addition to what you get with the black appearance package. But I do want to show you the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. That is what they look like. Again, with the black appearance package, you're going to hear me say that 20 times throughout today's video, but included in that is this gloss black fender vent. By the way, these fender vents are functional. I love the way the carbonized gray looks in the direct sun. But coming into our side view mirrors, I'm going to go over what you get as standard and then what you get as an option with the XLT mid. So basically, as standard, you get these satin black side mirrors, and as standard, they are manual folding. You will find your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. Also, as standard, you get this camera right here, and that camera works with your 360-degree view camera system. And then just inside of the camera, you have a puddle light, which basically will illuminate this area at night. But again, this one being optioned with the XLT mid, also known as the 302A, you get the zone lighting as well as the integrated mirror turn signals. And then also with that package, you get the heated side view mirrors. I think the XLT mid is the best value, you know, feature wise for out of the three XLT base, mid, and high. The high is just a little bit more pricey than this, obviously. But here's a little side profile shot of the new F-150. You can kind of see the new taillights there, but other than that, it kind of looks very similar to the 2023. But taking a look at our window trim, you get satin black window trim as standard. You get the keypad here. The black appearance package gives you the body color door handles, and the XLT mid / 302A gives you the keyless access. And then also with the black appearance package, you get these black assist steps. But coming to our bedside, you get a capless filler neck. An 87 octane will do you just fine. This one has been spec'd with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. 87 octane will be okay. And then you can see those two white lights. Those are your LED cargo lights. At the center, that is your third brake light. Again, this one being spec'd with the XLT mid / 302A, you get the power sliding rear window. Coming back to here, here's a little 3/4 shot of this thing. And this one being spec'd with the black appearance package and the FX4 off-road package. You get these gray FX4 decals. So let's say you get, you know, the black appearance package with 4-wheel drive. Well, then it would just say 4x4 rather than FX4, and it would still be in that gray color. And then again, this one being spec'd with the FX4, you get the monotube rear shocks. Now, also, this being an XLT, you get the halogen taillights. If you wanted LED taillights, you would have to step up to a Lariat. But also, like I just mentioned, this one has halogen taillights, not LED taillights. And here is a booty shot of what the new F-150 looks like. So definitely looks different, but also retains a feel of similarity or familiarity to the 2023. Taking a look right here, you have a backup camera. To the right of the backup camera, that is your LED hitch light. With the black appearance package, you get the black Ford logo. And then just underneath here, if you press on the button, basically like behind the backup camera, that is how you get access into your tailgate. You do get a dampened tailgate, but no bed liner. One thing that's cool, on the left-hand side of your bed, you get a 120 volt household power outlet. And on the right-hand side, you have a little bit of bed storage down in there. You could set your gloves or, you know, smaller items like that. But close this back up. The tailgate is very light. You can see you have the F-150 stamped into the tailgate. And with the black appearance package, just like the front, you get a body color rear bumper. The 4 parking sensors come standard with this thing. A couple other things I figured you might want to know if you're buying a truck is that the XLT comes with a 2-speed transfer case. This one being optioned with the $785 tow haul package. You get the 355 electronic locking rear axle when spec'd with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. And then when it comes to the max payload of this particular XLT, it is 1,894 pounds. And when you talk about tow capacity, that's kind of where it gets a little hairy, because on the tow hitch right here, you can see you get a tow hitch, and you look underneath here, you can see with a weight distribution hitch, you get a max tow capacity of 11,600 pounds. But if you're just using this hitch right here without the weight distribution hitch, you get a max tow capacity of 5,000 pounds. So I think you could still pull more than 5,000 pounds without the weight distribution hitch, but you did not hear that from me. It's got the power, it's got the chassis to do so. Ford just doesn't maybe recommend it. I don't know. I pulled a 2010 Camaro the other day. That car is about 3,800 pounds plus a 2,000 pound trailer. What's that? 5,800 pounds. And I used my uncle's 2016 Ford F-150 with the 2.7 EcoBoost and the 6-speed automatic transmission, and it pulled it phenomenally. It did a fantastic job. I would love to do a tow test with the 3.5 liter EcoBoost, but I, don't have access to one, but I'd love to do one. I think it would tow with ease. So I guess with that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the optional $1,660 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 that produces 400 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 5.3 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 16 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway for 19 miles per gallon combined with four-wheel drive. If you wanted four-wheel drive, that will cost you an additional $3,860. So for 2024, Ford dropped the naturally aspirated V6, and now the standard engine on the XLT is the 2.7 liter EcoBoost V6, which is actually fantastic motor. Now, I have a lot of experience with that because my uncle has one. I drive his truck often, and I tow with it as well. That is a fantastic motor. Honestly, that might be the best overall motor. I know the 3.5s have, you know, some cam phaser issues. So does the 2.7 liter, but I think these have more turbo issues than the 2.7. So, you know, 3.5, if you're going to be towing a lot, is the motor to get. If you like the sound, which is what I would want, personally for me, I would get the 5 liter V8. However, there's also the power boost. I don't think I would get the power boost personally, but that makes a little bit more power than this. However, again, if you know you want fuel economy, you want power, and you don't really care about the sound, and you don't want a hybrid, the 2.7 EcoBoost is definitely the way to go. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Those things really help me grow my YouTube channel, and I'd appreciate it if you do those things. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as before mentioned, with the XLT Mid, you get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across that satin black button there, and now it is locked. There are a few ways you can unlock and or lock the vehicle other than the one I just mentioned. So with this keypad here, if you remember your key code, you can type in your key code and that will let you into the vehicle. If you wanted to lock it with this keypad, you press the 7, 8, and 9-0 buttons simultaneously, and that will lock the vehicle up. And then the obvious one is obviously the unlock and the lock functions on the key fob. Key fob looks the same as last year's model, but starting with the functions on the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function, your remote start function, your tailgate drop function, and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is lock it, press this button twice, and she'll fire up. And that is what the 3.5 liter EcoBoost sounds like when you fire it up. Now, this is what the interior looks like. So being optioned with the $4,770 XLT Mid, you get the 40 console 40 seat configuration up here. You also get a 10-way power driver seat with power lumbar, but I'm going to get into that stuff here in a second because we are going to start here on our driver door panel. So up top here, you get some of this textile type of material. Then you get a leatherette wrapped armrest that is nicely padded. You get some gray trim. You have your unlock and your lock functions. This button right here is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. These are for your side view mirror controls. You get automatic up and down windows in the front, but you do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. This is a great spot you could set your phone. You get tons of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the door panel, as well as a couple spots you can set some water bottles. But again, this is what the interior looks like. And with the XLT Mid, as mentioned, you get a 10-way power driver seat with power lumbar, as well as an 8-way power front passenger seat with power lumbar. And also, as with that package, you get the heated front seats with 3 levels of adjustability. But stepping on into the interior, you get an awesome American flag right there. But take a listen to what it sounds like when you close the door. Now, let's get full access into our clusters here. So, just push button start. Push button start comes with the XLT Mid. Now, coming over to here, you have an A-pillar O-poop handle, an HVAC vent, and coming down with the XLT Mid, you get the zone lighting. So this is going to turn the driver zone lighting on, the front passenger zone lighting on the passenger side, and then pressing that button twice is going to drop your tailgate. This button is going to turn your LED cargo lighting on or off. Obviously, this right here is your headlight control knob. So all the way up is headlights off. That is parking lights on. That is headlights automatic, and all the way down is headlights in the always on position. And if you click right there, that is going to turn your fog lights on or off. I personally like to leave it in automatic. Now, to the right of that, you have these two buttons here. So this button is going to brighten your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. This is going to dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. And then you also, when pulling up on this, you get an electronic parking brake. So right there lets you know that the parking brake is engaged. If you wanted to disengage the parking brake, you'd push your foot against the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. Now, come to our steering column. If you flip this down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel, basically meaning that I can push the steering wheel away from me, I can bring the steering wheel towards me, and like basically push it, pull it, kind of hard to do, and then down and up. And then once you find your comfortable position, all you got to do is lock it right back into position. But now, let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is also your windshield wiper control stock. And if you press on that right there, that is how you wash the front windshield. Obviously, this is also your high beam control stock, but you do get automatic high beam, so you don't really got to worry about that. Then, coming back out, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center, so let's take a listen to it. That is what the horn sounds like here on the XLT. Now, I also wanted to mention, with the black appearance package, you get the blacked out Ford logo at the center of your horn. Now, on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, we're going to talk about these functions here real quick, because this one being optioned with the XLT Mid, also known as the 302A, you get adaptive cruise control with stop and go, as well as lane centering. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. This is going to turn the lane keeping system on or off. I personally am not a fan of the lane keeping system, so I would turn that off. And then this is like your gap adjust for your adaptive cruise control system. But then you have your volume controls here. This is to speak to the vehicle. And then coming to this side of the steering wheel, this is either to pick up and or hang up on a phone call. This is to go backwards on a track. This is to go forwards on a track. And then all of these controls right here are for your new to the XLT for 2024 12-inch digital gauge cluster. So this is what the digital gauge cluster looks like, just what you would find on a Lariat. Tachometer is on the left. Speedometer is over here on the right with the digital speedometer readout at the center. And then going through these things here, starting from the right, you can see you have your fuel gauge. This one has a also the fuel range. This one has the 36 gallon fuel tank is what I was trying to say. And then right here, that is your oil temperature. That is your oil pressure. And then over here is your coolant temperature. Then you got your transmission status stuff, your compass, your odometer, and again, with the XLT High, you get the speed sign recognition, basically letting you know what the speed limit is of the area that you are driving in. So I'm going to click on My View, and in My View, you can either see your driver assistance stuff, a calm view, which is nothing, trip 1, fuel economy stuff, tire pressure stuff, or you can configure it. If you go back, then you can click on this, you can go into trip 1, trip 2, fuel economy stuff. You can go in between your different gauges here. So you can see the measurements, the coolant temperature, trans temperature, the engine oil temperature, battery voltage, etc. And then you got your off-road stuff. If you click on that, you can see your compass, off-road status, the pitch and roll stuff. So if you go into off-road status, you click up 1, you can see your compass, then you see your pitch and roll stuff. Back down, then you get your towing information here. You can go in between all of that stuff. All of these different things you can see here basically on your digital gauge cluster. This digital gauge cluster is very easy to use, so I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on it. Otherwise, it's going to make the video too long. So you get the idea. This is new for 2024. Now up top here, you get a speaker, you get some storage space. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max for size reference up there, tons of storage space. And then going through these different controls here, this is to turn your auto stop start system on or off. This right here is going to pop up your 360-degree view camera system. You can also go in between your different camera views there. I'm not going to do that. And then clicking on this is basically for your parking sensors. So if you click that, that is going to turn the parking sensors like the beep beep beeps on or off. Then you got your hazard button, the traction control on or off button, and with the FX4 off-road package, you get hill descent control, and that is the hill descent control button there. No, I cannot see that light flashing here in person. It's just picking up on camera due to the frame rate of the camera. So what I want to do is I'm going to bring you into this screen here. So this comes standard with a 12-inch Sync 4 infotainment system with built-in navigation, as well as wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So this screen is now standard on all F-150 models. So going throughout the screen, you got your different shortcut buttons down here. One thing I did want to show you were your features. So you can go in between your different driver assistance features here. I always like to show this so you guys can take a look at all the different driver assistance features you get with the F-150s. And then you also get the zone lighting with the XLT High. So basically, if I go into the zone lighting here and I click that and I turn on all zones, basically when you go on the outside of the vehicle, the headlights are going to be on, the fog lights are going to be on. So boom, headlights on, fog lights on, the side mirror light right here are on, but so are the puddle lights. And then when you come around back, you get the hitch light, you get the cargo lights, you get the reverse lights, and that is that, as well as the license plate lights. So that is what the zone lighting is. You know, when I first found out about zone lighting, I used to think that it was a gimmick, but if you do camping or anything like that, the zone lighting system is actually very useful. So I'm going to go back into that other screen. You can go into your towing stuff. Record feedback is a new thing I have never seen before. Basically, you can click that and basically give your gripes about the F-150. Let's say you don't like the rear view mirror and you wish that it came standard with a digital rear view mirror. Well, you can record feedback and basically that sends it directly to Ford. It's actually kind of interesting. But yeah, that's kind of about it for this screen. You get your CarPlay stuff. You can make it a little bit bigger by clicking on that. It will now take up the entire screen. All you gotta do is click right there. And then you do get a split screen setup over here. It also is letting you know the ambient exterior temperature, dual zone climate control. And then if I click up here, I'm gonna go all the way up. So all the way up, you can see your Apple CarPlay stuff, basically data. Then you get your navigation stuff, you get your phone stuff, trip one, fuel economy, eco behavior, your off-road stuff. And then if you keep going down, it always trips up on off-road. I don't quite know why, but yeah, that's what you can do there with this screen. It's a very easy to use screen. Don't feel like you need to spend too much time on that. But this one's been optioned with the $785 tow haul package, which gives you the trailer brake controller right here. And it didn't mention anything about the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, but I would assume that the Pro Trailer Backup Assist also comes with that package, but it didn't mention it, so I'm just mentioning that now. But yeah, dual zone climate control comes standard with this thing, and this is your climate control stack down here. You get heated front seats as a part of the XLT mid package, and you get 3 levels of adjustability with these heated front seats, or you can have the auto temperature on. So basically, let's say it's like 32 degrees out, the heated seats will turn themselves on by themselves. So it's actually a pretty cool feature. And then you get your volume control knob, tuning control knob. This right here is going to pop up your sound settings like the tone, balance, fader, etc. This is going to bring you in between your different audio sources. This is going to turn the screen to a clock, and if you click it one more time, the screen turns off. Touch anywhere on the screen and it will turn back on a track, forwards on a track, play or pause on a track. And then you get a 12-volt power outlet. You get a household power outlet beneath that. And then if you come over to here, as mentioned, you get a 2-speed transfer case, meaning you get 2 high, 4 high, and 4-wheel drive low. And if you click right there, that is going to lock the rear axle, basically letting you do burnouts, or, you know, more realistically, pulling something out of something. Basically, you know what a locking axle does. I don't feel like I need to explain it. If you're buying a truck, you should know what that is. All the way to the left, you got your sport mode. Then you get your eco mode. Then you have your tow haul mode. The center mode is normal mode. You twist to the right, you get your slippery mode. Then you have your off-road mode. And all the way to the right, with the FX4 off-road package, you get the rock crawl mode. So if you don't get the FX4 package, then you don't get the rock crawl mode. But you can see with rock crawl mode, it pops up your forward-facing camera. And that's kind of about it for what we got going on up there. Down here, you get a USB-A port, a USB-C port, and tons of storage space. Speaking of storage space, you get some storage space here. You could set your phone down in here. Same thing on this side as well. And then you get 2 cup holders here. And in between the cup holders and the gear shifter, you have this thing. You could set your phone. It's a very awesome phone holder. Makes it very easy to grab your phone if you need to. And then this shifter is very interesting to me. if you don't get the interior work surface, it's kind of pointless. But if you push down on that, the shifter will basically hide away, and then you get some flat storage space. But if you press that again, this is going to pop up, and basically if you go into drive, you press M, that's going to put you into manual mode. Then you can upshift and downshift the transmission. That's to upshift, that's to downshift. I'm going to go back into park, but let's say, you know, you're in drive, right, and you turn the vehicle off. It's going to go back into park. It's very smart. It's not going to let you just, you know, leave it in drive. So one recommendation that I would have for you is if you're getting an F-150 and you do any sort of work in the F-150, I highly recommend you take a look at the interior work surface. It is a very, very useful feature. Basically, you put your hand underneath here, and then this would fold over, basically giving you a desk almost in a way to work on. So very useful feature here. And then, by the way, this center console is also locking. But if you open it up, you get this divider here, and then down in there you get 2 USB-C ports, a ton of storage space down in here. I'm gonna put that back in. You know, what the thing's kind of interesting to me is that this is so thick, but like there's nothing really other than what you get down in here. So I don't understand why it's so thick. I guess maybe for the interior, I don't know. But coming over to here, you click on that, that is going to pop open your upper glove box. I'd say you could probably fit maybe 10 sausage McMuffins in there. And then below that, you get a lockable lower glove box. And over there, you can fit your owner's manual, and you can fit your napkins, your straws, your snacks. There is a ton of storage space there in the glove box. And when you come up to here, you get an auto dimming rear view mirror. This is going to let you know if the passenger airbag is on or off. The driver's light is LED, the passenger's light is LED. This is your instant dome light on button, going to turn on all of your interior dome lights. And then this button right here, when it is, you know, just illuminating in that blue, when you open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. However, if you click it and it goes to amber, now when I open up the interior doors, the lights will not turn on. So that is what that button does. And then with the XLT mid, you get the power sliding rear window, and this, if you push up, is going to slide open the power sliding rear window, and if you pull down on it, it is going to close the power sliding rear window. One thing that's nice, you also get a spot you could set your sunglasses up top there. And then when you move into the visor, you get a vanity mirror, but you do not get a vanity light. And then you get a spot right here, you can set any small little paper product. And when you open this thing up, it slides forwards and backwards for when the sun is in those awkward positions. Now on the passenger side, you get lights. No lights on the passenger side either. So passenger, by the way, also gets a no poop handle. So one thing I wanted to mention, Ford seats, always super, super comfortable. My uncle's got a 2016 F-150 XLT, and the seats in the 2024 are definitely more comfortable than the seats in the 2016. However, Ford seats are always very, very comfortable, so I got no complaints with his truck either. F-150's got the most comfortable truck seats compared to Ram, compared to GMC or Chevy. It's just my personal opinion. Really, Ford's got the best seats out of anybody besides like Rolls-Royce, etc. But now I'm just gonna throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything you get as standard, everything that is optioned on this particular vehicle, fuel economy, etc. I'm just gonna highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 F-150 XLT is spec'd is $62,640. Definitely a lot of money, but you get a lot of truck for the money, and you get a lot more standard features here with the XLT here for 2024. And it's also just a sweet looking truck, especially when optioned with the black appearance package. In my personal opinion, I know there's some people out there who still like their chrome, but taking a look at the window goes all the way down, but it is not automatic up or down. You also get a nicely padded armrest, a cup holder, a spot you could set your phone, and tons of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of the panel. This is what the rear seats look like. With the XLT, you do not get a center fold down armrest. You would have to step up to a lariat in order to do so. This is also a 60-40 split, 60% being here on the driver's side. This is what that looks like there. And if you wanted to pull up on them, you just pull up on this, and that is how you raise or lower these second row seats. And as you may have noticed, you get some partition storage space in here. You could set jumper cables or something like that. But closing this back up, this being a Super Crew, you may know you get tons and tons of leg and knee room. I'm 5'9", adjusted behind myself. Take a look at that. I don't even need to show it. You got tons of it. And then up top here, you got a spot you set your dry cleaning. You get an LED dome light. You get an OPU panel on your B pillar. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You get a seat back pocket behind the front passenger seat as well. Same stuff over there on that side. Then you get 2 cup holders here. This is where you would set your phone. And then down here, you get 2 HVAC vents, a 12-volt power outlet, a 120-volt household power outlet, followed by 2 USB-C ports. Now, when it comes to headroom, I've got plenty of headroom, not even a question. And then these second row seats are also very, very, very comfortable. So, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I always start my videos here. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Did very well over the first one. 3.5's got so much torque down low, it's actually kind of crazy. And then go about 5 again. That'll be about 5, like right there. And I'm gonna give this thing a 7.8 on a scale of 1 to 10. I feel like with the FX4 off-road package, it does ride maybe a little bit firmer than it would otherwise without that package. That's just the way that I kind of experience it. You could have a differing opinion on that. That's just how I feel. But now I'm gonna do a nice little acceleration here onto the roadway. So, okay, maybe not, because we got a red light here. But one thing I wanted to say kind of right off the bat is that this thing kind of sounds like a V8 at higher idle. It's actually kind of crazy. Like when you first do a cold start on it and you listen to the exhaust, it almost sounds like a V8 at idle. And I've noticed that before with the 3.5 EcoBoost. It's actually kind of weird. But here's a little acceleration. And that was not floored. That was just, I would say maybe 50% throttle. So I'm telling you guys, the 3.5 liter EcoBoost it's pretty crazy. It is very, very powerful. Now, is it Ram TRX level powerful? Obviously not. But for just, you know, a regular 1500 series truck, in no world does a truck need this much power. But in every world, in my world, it needs this much power. That made no sense, but we're gonna make it make sense, because this thing is just so powerful that I can't even think. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I love the power to this thing. But for me, being a V8 lover, I'd have to go with the 5.0. You know what I mean? It might not make the most sense to some of you out there, but the 5 liter is the engine for me. And I know there are some of you out there who feel the exact same way as me. However, I am not knocking the 3.5 EcoBoost or even the 2.7 liter EcoBoost by any means. They are both fantastic engines. They're both very powerful, and the 2.7 gets very good fuel economy. This thing gets pretty decent fuel economy as well here. The one thing that I like about the EcoBoost is that you can hear the turbo noise. You can hear it go into boost, and that's pretty cool for me. I'm definitely a huge car person, and you know, I love V8s. I got V8s, but I also can appreciate, you know, having the EcoBoost in my truck as a daily. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like almost, you know, the 3.5 would sway me maybe into an EcoBoost, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming from somebody who loves their V8s, but I like listening to the turbo noise, like here. Hear it build boost and, you know, go when you let off the throttle. That's pretty cool. So, I don't know, that's just the way that I feel. Take a listen to what this thing sounds like cruising though at about 45 miles an hour over some bridge joints, and listen to the road and the wind noise. Try to bring it up to about 55. So it is very well insulated from the outside world. It really, really is. And you know, what's crazy is that this thing makes for a fantastic daily driver. You know, it's very easy to turn because the steering is very light. It's got great power, so when you need to pass somebody, you can pass somebody, even with the 2.7 liter. I have not driven a 5.0 F-150 in quite some time, but with the 5.0, here's a little word of advice. if you really want a 5.0 F-150, then you should 1000% spec it with the 373 rear axle ratio, because that will make it feel as fast, or maybe even faster than the EcoBoost. So you really have to get the 5.0 with the 373 if you're going for power, kind of similar feeling to the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. You really got to spec it with the 373s. That's just my word of advice. But man, even with the EcoBoost, I'm a fan of just the F-150 as a whole, really, you know what I mean? If I was gonna get a truck, which I will be getting a truck at some point in maybe the next year, maybe even in the next few months, it is going to be probably an F-150 with the 5 liter. Just personally, for me, I like the F-150s the best. You know, they're just the most comfortable when it comes to the seating position. They're the most comfortable when it comes to the ride. They really make for a great daily driver. I mean, they really do, especially with a 360 camera, especially with adaptive cruise. You know what I'm saying? They really just make for a fantastic daily. And you know, you can have a family and you can have this truck, and you know, even if you have 2 or 3 kids, they're not going to feel cramped in the rear. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much space in the back that you can put all of their sports equipment and them as well, and maybe even bring a friend or 2 along with you, and you're just going to have the space for it. So that's what's so good about, you know, these new trucks, is that there's just so much space in them. But the F-150 in particular is just super comfortable, in my personal opinion. Now I'm gonna go all the way into sport mode, and basically I'm just gonna floor it. So here. Very quick, guys. Very quick. I mean, it's got more, like way more than enough power that you need in a truck. And again, if you're going to be doing any sort of towing, I would probably get the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. It's just the best motor for towing because it's so torquey, and it's got so much power that, you know, towing a trailer, it's going to tow a trailer with ease. You know, I've towed a trailer with my uncle's 2.7 EcoBoost with the 355 axle ratio, and that thing does a fantastic job towing 6,000 pounds. So I could imagine that this is just that much better. So overall, I actually also wanted to mention the sound system here real quick. So I've noticed, I almost feel like they've raised the volume ceiling of the sound system. This one's just got the standard sound system, but it sounds louder than it has been in years prior. You know, sometimes I found with like the F-150s, the sound system wasn't the greatest compared to the Ram and the Chevys, and they weren't as loud as the Ram and the Chevys. But this year, it seems like they've kind of raised the audio limit a little bit. It sounds a little bit louder, I think, than it has in years prior. That could also be just placebo, but really very comfortable vehicle. I love the way that the 2024 redesigned F-150s look. They look fantastic. Interior wise, they feel very similar to what they did in 2023, but the exterior wise, I think they look phenomenal. That's just my personal opinion. You can let me know your opinion in the comment section down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you like the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. The likes and comments look very good for my channel and the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me achieve my dreams. So I'd appreciate it if you would do those 3 things. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.